Some skronky metal scrap there. Try not to get turned around in the dark. That's some good e-waste there. That's a good sign. Small's Mart is a favorite thingamajig broker. Let's see. Says you'll get a special price and a wrap-up on the double. Wants you to know you won't find a better deal anywhere else. Worth thinking about. Got what you wanted. You've got everything you need to make something special. The world is getting colorful again. You've discovered Fanaki leaves, the densest jungle in the land. Better get hacking. That paid off. Sure useful. See that e-waste? You could use that for sure. You found the Moly Hole outpost, an old Pichu tribe hole in the wall. Such a bright day to wander around in. Hey, you could probably make something glossy with plastic scrap. The Surge Surf Factory. Keep your eye out for Wiz while you're here. Let's see. Look at the notices on that board. No one paid much attention to them, it looks like. Wiz should be around here somewhere, probably taking care of his guppos. A surge surf factory was one of the cleaner ways to make power, until the surf turned into goo and clogged it all up, that is. The thicker the surf became with goo, the more the machinery clogged up and stopped working. Like most things from the bygone. There are sure to be more tracks around here, maybe by the shore. Your destiny waits on the path you'll take to avoid it. Impressed you found that, despite all the goo. This place has held power for a long time. In many ways it still does. That would require cleaning up all the goo. Glad you found that track. There's a lot to learn about this world, both here and beyond. It's a cold zone. Even a thick coat of fur is enough to keep you warm here. Nothing like light to brighten your day. Wuz isn't easy on the tongue, but I think he says he's happy to see a friendly face. Not too many of those around these days. Says it's good to see you again. He's Wiz. You might remember him from the old days when he let you try his octopod? Wiz remembers you were such a cheery kid, and he's glad to see that light hasn't faded from you, despite the years. But Wiz understands it was a long time ago, and memories get murkier the deeper you go. But it was a tragedy, but also sad that you chose to leave. It's a miracle you made it on the outside on your own. That land is harsh, they say. Wiz says our memory keeps things for us, preserves them until we are ready to face them again. He knows you've returned to face Lupa Lupin, and that confrontation is as inevitable as the tides. He's not surprised that the loss of your family could plunge you into the depths forever, but you've always been able to rise like a bubble to the surface, no matter what. He knows that though the tides of history may push you in one direction, you can always lay your own course. Ultimately, it's your choice. You were the one to be wronged and have lived with the consequences. He believes in consequence as it's a direct result of action.
It's like the whole world is glowing.
Just like I always told you, you're too much.
It's not too much until the dark is destroyed.
That's enough out of you.
Too much is never enough.
Asks if you ever think about freedom and whether any of us really has it. Did you make the decisions that brought you here, or are you just a pawn of fate? Maybe that's true for you, but he's not so sure about his own fate. Amazed the world is going to continue on, but happy to hear it. Still so many things to invent. Impressed that you fought so hard to keep the world spinning. Thinks you were smart to join with the Myriad. They have a rainbow of ways to approach any problem. Says they're unified in the ways that matter. But that's not nearly as important as this. Wiz says that you should let the past dwell in the depths, but there's something else down there too, gnawing at the Tree of Life. He's named it the Merc Puff. This is why he's Tinkertonkering with the octopod. But the lid got stuck, so he needs a big enough tug twister to open it up and let you a-go-in. He can't leave the surge station, so you must help him find a tug twister. There's a wound-up mecha Fingro in the mecha stadium that still has one stuck on its back. Find it, and you'll find the tug twister. It's definitely made to lend a helping hand and do the heavy lifting. Toxanol records mention it as an automaton made for moving bionucleus matter into storage areas. Someone has to end this plague before it's too late. Let's see. Scrap's great for building things. An old home. Could be something to it. Shine's happy that the Myriad can count on a friend as bright as you. Has plenty to do, so no worries. Keep your wits about you. Radical. Wow, wow, wow. Don't want to point a finger, but the Mecha Stadium is the end here. Icy tough. Such a treasure. Just a few moves left. Make them count. The day almost makes you want to smile. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the brain. Feeling stronger every day. You need to loosen the bolts without unsettling it. Just a few moves left. Make them count. That's too much distress. That's it. The tug twister's loose. Let's hope it turned the grabbing hand into a helping hand, too. A pause place. Probably cleaned out, but you never know. He believed the tug twister would do the trick, but now realizes brute force won't do the trick. You need something slick. Well, he means slick as in greasy, so you can lube the hinges of the lid. He can't argue against the fact your fur's shiny. He says the lid should open if you sprinkle grease it. Problem is, he's all out. He knows his old friend Choo-Choo always keeps his grease sprinklers well filled. He should have an extra that you can borrow. He stresses that you should come back as soon as you've retrieved the grease sprinkler. The Merc Puff is crunching bark by the minute. Wiz heard he's currently stranded at the end of the line, so it should be easier to track him down now compared to when he's running rails. Heroes inspire in a way nothing else can. E-waste, the stuff you need. Good hit. Crack-a-doo. Made the kill. Don't lose your way in the blackness. There's something there. Skronkers. That's a chug hut. Probably no chug-chugs in it, but you never know. A smart foe would lead. Nauseating. the dawn never come? Sharp. Cutting edge. Tinker! Get out! You cleared! It misses. Hey, there's some e-waste. Time to upgrade your clothes. This is high fluting, and there's an upgrade bench floating up there. You can spy the edge of a new day. Let's see. The vendor says you can browse his goods any time during open. There's Vungo's place, a den of disrepute. Don't stop pounding that. Microwave. Right where it cuts. Hot metal. This one seems to be in good spirits despite being left here for dead. Has heard that you have a sense of compassion and trusts it's in your nature to help those in need. Asks you to do the right thing for the sake of your conscience. It's only through your inner conflict you're held accountable for your actions. Is grateful you chose that. You can't be good without doing good for others.
Hard to find any shadows now.
That's not necessary.
The prey always says that about the hunt.
Oh, you don't have to be so vicious about it.
Of course I don't, but I'm enjoying it.
The world is full of secrets waiting to be uncovered. Check everywhere. There's a serenity about this spot. It's a place for rest and recovery, when day can become night, and the other way around. Upsy. This is all about you. Whether you succeed or fail, it's on you. Yes, some e-waste for you. Always good to have some wood scrap like that on hand. Got it. Boom, boom. Ready to roll? The day is calling. You've reached the end of the line. Bet you can find Choo-Choo here. Check out that rubber scrap. You need to swivel the globus's bearings. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Let's see. Choo-Choo knew you would make it to him one day. All you had to do was follow the steel path. The rails might be getting rusty, but eventually they all converge on him. Claims rails are like rules. If you follow them the way you're supposed to, everything good in life can roll your way. Says you followed the rails to where you need to be, but tracks have switches in them too. The question is then, will you keep on the same track or look for a way to hit that switch? You seem like you're on the right track already. He just hopes you don't get sidetracked onto a darker path. Whichever way you go, he wants you to know that the rails never steer you wrong. Stick to them and they always bring you right to where you're meant to be. Wants to know if you've ever regretted taking one track in life instead of another. If you could go back, would you switch tracks or keep chugging along the one you're on? Thinks everyone has. No one's perfect every time. Seems like the world came out of its rut and is chugging toward higher ground again. Can't thank you enough for hitting the brakes and working to turn the world chug around. But let's not get derailed. Says he's surprised to see anyone this far out, but sometimes the wrong train does take you to the right station. As you can see, he didn't plan to make a stop here, but now that he had to, he's really happy to see you. He says his name is Choo Choo. He's been off track since the world started dying, but he's trained his mind to stay positive regardless of the situation. Figures that's true, but they can get you close enough to most things for most reasons. You can stumble along from there. He's convinced the tracks are like the paths our lives take, and you must deal with the outcome, even if you didn't lay them yourself. This time, though, he was sidetracked and needs a new wing nut to get back on track. Wing nuts are easy to find, as they're fitted on any in-front chugger out there. The challenge is taking them off, so he's happy you're here to do it for him. Says he knew you would, like he knows the way the rails run.